Sofia hurriedly grabbed her backpack, her fingers fumbling with the zipper. The early morning sun cast a golden hull over Abidjan, illuminating the bustling city. Her mother, Yvonne, called out for the kitchen. Sofia, your breakfast is ready. I am coming, Mama. Sofia responded, trying to cram her homework into her bag. Today was a special day at school and she didn't want to be late. Downstairs, her younger brother Daniel was already munching on toast, oblivious to the chorus around him. Yvonne placed a plate of omelette and fresh fruit on the table, her face lined with the stress of managing two children on her own since her husband Patrick had left for a business trip. Did you remember your science project, Sofia? Yvonne asked, her voice tinged with concern. Yes, Mama, Sofia replied, gulping down her breakfast. She glanced at the clock and realized she was running out of time. I have to go. Bye. Mama, bye, Daniel said. She dashed out the door, her heart pounding with excitement and anxiety. The streets of Abidjan were already alive with the sounds of honking cars and bustling pedestrians. Sofia hurried to catch her bus, her mind occupied with thoughts of the day ahead. At school, Sofia's friend R and Acha were waiting for her by the entrance. Sofia, over here, R waved, her braided hair bouncing with each movement. Hey guys, Sofia greeted them, her eyes shining with anticipation. Are you ready for the science fair? Acha grinned, holding up her meticulous grafted volcano model. I can't wait to see everyone's project. The morning passed in a blur of excitement as students presented their project. Sofia's solar system model received praise from her teachers, and she felt a sense of accomplishment as she stood beside it. However, as the day wore on, a glaring feeling of unease settled in Sofia's stomach. She glanced at her watch and realized it was already past the usual time for her parents to pick her up. Where are they? She muttered to herself. Noticed Sofia's anxious expressions and placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Don't worry, they will be here soon. But as minutes turned into hours, Sofia's worry deepened. The school grounds emptied out, and soon she found herself alone with the security guard, Mr. Claudio. Sofia, your parents haven't come yet? He asked, his brows furrowed. No, Mr. Claudio, Sofia replied, her voice trembling. I don't know what happened. He sighed and offered her a seat in the guardhouse. Let's wait a little longer. Maybe they got stuck in traffic. Sofia sat down, her mind racing with possibilities. Had something happened to her mother and brother? Are they in trouble? The fear glared at her, making her heart pound in her chest. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows over the school, Sofia's phone buzzed. It was a text from her mother. Sofia, I am sorry. I thought Patrick was picking you up. I'm on my way now. Relief washed over Sofia, but it was tinged with anger and confusion. How could they forget about me? How could they forget about her? She stood up, her legs shaky, and made her way to the school gate. When Yvonne finally arrived, her face was pale with worry. Sofia, I am so sorry, my darling, she repeated, her voice breaking. There was a mix-up, and I thought your father was picking you up. Sofia stared at her mother, tears welling up in her eyes. You left me here all alone, she whispered. Yvonne reached out to hug her, but Sofia pulled away. The hurt too fresh and raw. Let's just go home, she said, her voice cold. The drive home was silent, the tension thick in the air. Sofia stared out the window, her mind replaying the event of the day. This wasn't over. She knew that much. The sense of abandonment had struck a chord deep into within her. The repercussions were yet to unfold. Back at home, Sofia retreated to her room, shutting the door behind her. She threw herself onto the bed, the tears finally flowing freely. The betrayal she felt was overwhelming. How could she, her own parent, forget her? The thought haunted her, making it hard to breathe. Meanwhile, Yvonne sat in the living room, her face buried in her hands. Daniel, sensing the tension, approached his mother with wide eyes. "Mama, is Sophia mad at you?" Yvonne looked up, her eyes remained from crying. "Yes, Daniel, she is, and I don't blame her," Patrick called out that evening, his voice full of concern. When Yvonne explained what had happened, "I am so sorry, Yvonne, I thought you had it covered. We need to talk to her." "Patrick," Yvonne said, her voice shaking, "she's deeply hurt." Patrick agreed and promised to speak with Sophia when he returned. But the days that followed were filled with awkward silence and strained conversations. Sophia avoided her own mother and brother, burying herself in her schoolwork and spending more time with her friends. One afternoon, and Acha decided to visit Sophia at home. They found her in the backyard, staring blankly at the sky. "Sophia, we've been worried about you," Awa said softly, sitting down beside her. "I just can't believe they forgot me," Sophia murmured, her voice hollow. Acha placed a comforting hand on Sophia's arm. "It was a mistake, Sophia. They love you." Sophia shook her head, tears brimming in her eyes. "It doesn't feel like it. It feels like I'm invisible." Awa exchanged a worried glance with Acha. "Maybe you should talk to them, Sophia. Let them know how you feel." "I don't know if I can," Sophia whispered, her voice trembling. Days turned into weeks, and the tension at home only grew. Patrick's return brought a semblance of normalcy, but the undying hurt remained. One evening, he sat down with Sophia in the living room, his expression serious. "Sophia, can we talk?" Sophia glanced at him, her eyes wary. "What is it, Papa?" Patrick took a deep breath, his voice gentle but firm. "I'm sorry for what happened. It was a mistake, and we never meant to hurt you. Your mother and I love you so much. I mean very much," he said. Sophia's eyes filled with tears as she listened to her father's words. "But how could you forget me?" she asked, her voice cracking. Patrick reached out and took her hand. "We made a terrible mistake, Sophia, but we are here now. We want to make things right." Sophia looked at her father, the anger and hurt slowly melting away. "I just felt so alone," she whispered. Patrick pulled her into a hug, his voice choked with emotions. "You are never alone, my darling. Sophia, you are always here for you. We are always going to be here." As the days passed, Sophia began to heal, the love and support of her parents and friends helping her through the pain. But the memory of that day remained a reminder of how easily things could go wrong. And as life turned to its normal realm, Sophia couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. The experience had changed her. She was determined to find her own strength and independence. The journey ahead was uncertain, but Sophia knew she was ready to face whatever came her way. The next few weeks brought new challenges for Sophia, both at home and at school. Her teachers noticed the change in her demeanor and tried to offer support, but Sophia was determined to handle things on her own. Her friends Awa and Acha remained by her side, offering encouragement and understanding. One morning, as Sophia walked to her first class, she overheard a group of students whispering about her. "Did you hear about Sophia? Her parents forgot to pick her up from school, one girl said, her voice dripping with mock concerns. Sofia's cheek burned with embarrassment. She quickly walked past them, her head held high. She wasn't going to let their gossip affect her, but the whispers followed her throughout the day, a constant reminder of her humiliation. During lunch, Sofia sat with Awa and Acha, trying to ignore the stares and whispers. "Don't let them get you," Awa said, her voice filled with determination. "They are just jealous because you are strong." Acha nodded in agreement. "You've been through a lot, Sofia, but you are handling it with grace." Sofia forced a smile, grateful for her friend's support. But deep down, she couldn't shake the feeling of being an outsider. She had always been a good student and well liked, but now she felt like she was constantly under scrutiny. As the days passed, Sofia threw herself into her schoolwork, determined to prove that she was more than the girl who had been forgotten. She stayed late in the library, studying and working on projects, her grades improving with each passing week. One afternoon, her science teacher, Mr. Dara, called her into his office. "Sofia, I have noticed a significant improvement in your work lately," he said, his tone approving. "You've shown a lot of dedication and resilience." Sofia smiled, feeling a sense of pride. "Thank you, Mr. Dara. I have been working hard," he nodded, his expression serious. "I know things have been tough for you, but you are handling it well. If you ever need to talk, my door is always open." "Thank you, sir," Sofia replied, grateful for his support. She left his office with a renewed sense of determination. She wasn't going to let the past define her. However, the challenges continued. One evening, as Sofia was working on a history project at home, she received a text from an unknown number. "Hey, Sofia, heard you are the girl who got left behind. Must be tough, my darling." Sofia's heart sank as she read the message. She deleted it, refusing to let it affect her. But the texts kept coming, each one more hurtful than the last. She tried to ignore them, but the constant harassment was taking its toll. Finally, she decided to confide in Awa and Acha. "I have been getting these texts," she admitted, her voice shaking. "They are really mean, and I don't know who they are from." Awa's eyes widened with concern. "Sofia, that is terrible. We need to tell someone." Acha nodded in agreement. "This is bullying. Sofia, you shouldn't have to deal with it alone." Sofia hesitated, but she knew her friends were right. The next day, she showed the messages to Mr. Dara, who took immediate action. The school launched an investigation and the messages stopped, but the experience left Sofia feeling vulnerable and exposed. Despite everything, Sofia continued to push forward. She found solace in her studies and the support of her friends. She knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy, but she was determined to face it with strength and resilience. One day, as Sofia was working on a group project in the library, a new student approached their table. He was tall and had a warm smile that instantly put her at ease. "Hi, I'm Kweme," he introduced himself, his voice friendly. "I just transferred here from Ghana." "Nice to meet you, Kweme," Sofia said, shaking his hand. "I'm Sofia, and these are my friends, Awa and Acha." Kweme smiled at them all. "I've heard great things about you guys. Mind if I join your group?" "Of course," Awa said, making room for him at the table. "We are working on a history project. What about you?" "I'm still catching up," Kweme admitted, his tones sheepishly, "but I'm getting there." As they worked together, Sofia found herself drawn to Kweme's easygoing nature and quick wit. He had a way of making everyone feel comfortable, and his presence was a welcome distraction from the challenges she had been facing. Over the next few weeks, Kweme became a regular part of their group. He shared stories about his life in Ghana, his family, and his love for soccer. His positivity was infectious, and Sonia found herself laughing and smiling more than she had in months. One afternoon, after school, Kweme invited Sofia to join him for a walk in the park. "I could use some fresh air, he said, his eyes twinkling, "and I'd love to get to know you better." Sofia agreed, and they strolled through the park, the warm sun casting a golden glow over the city. As they walked, Kweme shared more about his life and his dreams for the future. Sofia listened, feeling a connection with him and that she hadn't felt in a long time. Sofia," Kweme said, his voice thoughtful, "I've heard about what happened to you, and I want you to know that you are not alone. We all have our struggles, but it's how we overcome them that defines us." Sofia looked at him, her heart swelling with gratitude. "Thank you, Kweme. That means a lot to me." He smiled, his eyes full of kindness. "Anytime, Sofia, I am here for you." As the weeks turned into months, Sofia and Kweme's friendship deepened. They spent hours talking about their hopes and dreams, their fears and insecurities. Kweme's unwavering support gave Sonia the strength to face her challenges head on. One evening, as they sat on a bench overlooking the city, Kweme turned to Sofia, his expression serious. "Sofia, I know you have been through a lot, but it seems a strength in you that's truly inspiring. Don't ever forget that." Sofia felt a lump in her throat as she looked at Kweme, her eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you, Kweme. You've been such a good friend to me." He smiled, his eyes twinkling. "And you too to me, Sofia. Let's keep facing our challenges together." As Sofia walked home that evening, she felt a sense of peace and hope that had been missing for a very long time. She knew there would be more challenges ahead, but with the support of her friends and the strength she had found within herself, she was ready to face whatever came her way. As the months went by, the bond between Sofia and Kweme grew stronger. They were inseparable, and Sofia found herself looking forward to their conversations and shared experiences. However, not everything was as it seemed. Unknowing to Sofia, Kweme had a secret that could change everything. One evening, while working on a project at Kweme's house, Sofia noticed a photo on his desk. It was a picture of a young boy and a woman. "Who is this?" she asked, picking up the frame. Kweme's face tightened for a brief moment before he forced a smile. "That's my mom and my younger brother," he said. "They still live in Ghana." Sofia sensed something was off, but didn't press further. As they continued walking, the nagging feelings in the back of her mind didn't go away. A few days later, Awa and Acha approached Sofia with worried expressions. "Sofia, we need to talk," Awa said, her voice serious. "We found something." They led Sofia to excluded. We found something. They led Sofia to excluded spot in the schoolyard and handed her a folder. Inside were documents and photos showing Kweme in different situations. Some of the photos were recent, showing him with people Sofia didn't recognize. But the most shocking was a newspaper clipping. It showed Kweme in Ghana standing next to a man identified as known con artist. Sofia's heart pounded in her chest as she looked at the evidence. "What is this?" she whispered, her voice trembling. Acha sighed. "We did some digging. Kweme's real name is Kofi, and he was involved in some shady dealings in Ghana. It looks like he is trying to start over here, but we thought you should know. Sofia felt like the ground had been pulled out from under her. She had trusted Kweme, confided in him. Now she didn't know what to think. Determined to get to the bottom of things, Sofia decided to confront Kweme. She couldn't let this uncertainty fester any longer. She found him after school, waiting for her at their unusual spot in the park. Kweme, we need to talk, Sofia said, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside her. Kweme looked surprised but nodded. Of course, Sofia, what's on your mind? She took a deep breath and handed him the folder. I found out some things about you, about your past. I need to know the truth. Kweme's face paled as he looked through the document. He closed the folder and let out a heavy sigh. Sofia, I never wanted you to find out like this. Is it true? Sofia asked again, her eyes searching his face. Are you really Kofi? He nodded slowly. Yes, it's true, my real name is Kofi. I moved here to escape my past, to start over. I was involved in some bad things back in Ghana, but I've changed, Sofia. I swear. Sofia's mind raced as she processed his words. Why didn't you tell me? Kweme's eyes were filled with regret. I was afraid you would look at me differently, that you pushed me away. I didn't want to lose you, Sofia. Tears welled up in Sofia's eyes as she struggled to reconcile the Kweme she knew with the person in the document. I don't know what to think, Kweme. You've been such a good friend, but this is a lot to take in. Kweme reached out and took her hand. His touch gentle. I understand, Sofia. I'll give you all the time you need. Just know that I care about you, and I'm not that person anymore. Sofia pulled her hand away, her emotions in turmoil. I need some time to think, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Kweme nodded, his expression pained. Take all the time you need, Sofia. I'll be here when you are ready. In the following days, Sofia distanced herself from Kweme, trying to sort things. One afternoon, while walking home from school, Sofia noticed a black car following her. She quickened her pace, her heart pounding in her chest. As she turned a corner, the car speeded up and blocked her path. Two men got out, their expressions menacing. Are you Sofia? One of them asked, his voice cold. Sofia nodded. Fear gripped her. Yes, why? We need to talk, the man said, grabbing her arm. About your friend, Kweme. Before she could react, they forced her into the car and drove off. Sofia's mind raced as she tried to figure out what was happening. They drove for what felt like hours before arriving at a secluded warehouse. Inside, Sofia was led to a dimly lit room where a man sat behind a desk, his face hidden in the shadows. Sofia, it is nice to finally meet you, he said, his voice smooth and sinister. Who are you? Sofia demanded, trying to keep her voice steady. The man leaned forward, revealing a scared face. My name is Malik. I am an associate of Kofi, and or Kofi's or Kweme, whatever you know him with, as you know him. Sofia's blood ran cold. What do you want from me? Malik smiled, a predatory grind information. Kweme stole something valuable from us back in Ghana, and we want it back. You are going to help us find him. Sonia's heart pounded in her chest. I don't know where he is. Malik's smile faded, replaced by a look of anger. Don't play games with me, Sofia. We know you are close to him. Help us and you won't get hurt. Sofia swallowed hard, fear and confusion swelling inside her. She didn't know what to do. Kweme had lied to her, But could she really betray him like this? Sophia's mind raced as she the weight of Malik's demand pressing down on her. She had no idea how to handle the situation, but she knew she had to stay calm and think carefully. I don't know where he is, Sophia repeated, trying to sound convincing. We haven't spoken in days. Malik leaned back in his chair, studying her. You are lying, right? You are close to him, and you know more than you are letting on. Sophia shook her head. I am telling the truth, and I had a falling out with him. I don't know who he is or what he is doing right now. Malik's expression darkened. If you are lying, it won't end well for you or your friends. Think carefully before you talk, Sophia. Sophia's heart pounded as she realized the danger she and her friends were in. She had to find way out of this, but she needed time to think. I need to go, please. Let me go. I'll try to find out where Kweme is. Malik studied her for a little moment before nodding. Fine. But remember, we are watching you. If you try to run or go to the police, you and your friends will be part of the prize. You people will pay the price. Sophia nodded, trying to keep her fear in check. I understand. The men escorted her back to the car and drove her back to school to her neighboring hood. As she got out of the car, one of them handed her a burner phone. Use this to contact us when you get information about Kweme. Sophia nodded and took the phone. Her mind already racing with thoughts of warn Kweme and protect her friends. She watched the car drive away before heading home. Her thoughts a whirlwind of fear and determination.